All right, good morning, and I am live. How's everybody doing? I had a nice 3 days off, but I did do some work on my days off. But let me go ahead and get into my spiel. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, and it is 4:22 a.m. on the West Coast in Phoenix. All right, and today's morning ride is going to be a little bit different. Like I said, I'm going to start talking about topics right off the bat. Today, I'm going to be with my co-host, Screen Learning, and today's topic is going to be who gets the front seat. So, if you're a woman, who would get the front seat? Would it be your husband, or would it be your father-in-law or the mother? And if you're a man, who would get the front seat? Would it be your wife or would it be your mom or her mom? So, we're interested to know this topic comes up every so often on Facebook and different social media spaces. Everybody has a different answer to this question. So, for me personally, I'm just going to tell you, I've been raised to respect my elders. And so, in saying that, whenever my sister and I are riding in the car together, we just become accustomed to letting our grandmother have the front seat or our mom or any older person because it's comfortable for them. So certainly, I would definitely let my mother-in-law have the front seat. But that's just me. There are a lot of women that don't feel that way. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Screen Learning, add him to the stream. Good morning, Stream Learning. How are you?
Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. This is a really great topic. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for bringing this into my attention. We have some really great bills offline where we do our little team brainstorming. So, thank you for bringing this topic to the forefront for me. Now, I have to
Yeah.
ask you,
hmm
how do you personally feel about this topic? I mean, who would you put in the front seat?
Before doing that, there's actually a video associated with it. If I can do a screen share, I can show a video to kind of set up what the whole situation looks like, the argument that ensued, and then we can kind of roll right into opinion and what everybody would want. If it's okay, if I could like a screen share and um, show everybody the video associated with it.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead. And while you're setting that up, I want to go ahead and say my morning shout outs to the people coming into the chat room. Good morning, Sheila E. Good morning, Mahogany Roots. I see you guys down there. Sheila E. has a special good morning to you, Stream Learning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Sheila E.
All right, so yeah, I do know how to do the screen share. So if you share your screen, I can just go ahead and pop it up here with us. You said there's
Yep,
a
I got it
video.
already up.
Okay. All right, I see it here. I'm going to add it to the stream. Let me go on mute.
All right. I guess everybody can let me know if they hear it. All right, let's do this. Mm. Every time I make up with your mother is always a problem. All right, I'm starting it over. Now I'm ready. All right, let's do it. What's going on here? Why she in the front seat? And I get that that's your mom and everything, but
You going to the back, right? No, absolutely not. Why? What are you talking about? I'm your wife. Are you serious right now? Okay, we gotta keep having these type of conversations every time I make up with your mother is always a problem. I'm in his life now, so why are you still here? I'm always gonna be. Okay, but go to the back fucking seat. Babe, I'm your wife. I'm your fucking wife. And I love you. This is my car.
We're this together, but babe, that's my mom. I haven't seen her since grown up.
He can't go my car. No, but every time she's around, you good job.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Stop being a mama's boy.
I love you and I love mom. I love both of y'all.
Go to the back.
Babe,
Go to the back
babe,
seat.
mom, please.
Go to the back seat. No, I'm so tired of this shit. Go to the
Babe,
back.
babe.
You could be his mother, cool, but go to the back.
Babe, I love both of y'all. Babe.
All right. So that is the situation. See, it looks simple when you have just a picture, just an idea, but this is about a power struggle in that the guy, he rolls up. Now we can see her hand. She doesn't have a wedding ring on. So this is like his woman. But he rolls up with the mom already in the front seat. The significant other, she immediately is like, hey, telling the mom to get in the back seat. The mom ain't getting in the back seat. So then the guy, he jumps out trying to convince his woman, hey, that's my mom. I love y'all both. If she wants to stay in the front seat, she got to stay in the front seat. And she calls him a mama's boy. So it's a power dynamic. And to kind of answer the question, you know, what I think about the situation, it's like this. I don't know where the mom and I came from, but I probably would, and this is, you know, just, this is kind of like not even having the conversation with the significant other. This is like she literally just started popping off, and the mom's like, she ain't moving.
Yeah.
I would have I'd have the significant other get in the back seat, and this is why. So at this point, the mom's already in the front seat, and I'm not about to make nobody change seat positions or whatever to accommodate anybody. I mean, the mom's already in the front seat. The obviously, well, I'm just not about to make nobody get out the front seat and get in the back. I'm just not about to do it. And then obviously, you know, the mom and the significant other, they already have friction. They already don't like each other. It's just not going to really end well. So the girlfriend, the wife or whatever, she's going to have to get in the back seat. And if it becomes a real problem, we all just got to talk about it. But no, I'm not making nobody get out the front seat.
Okay. And I also want to go ahead and welcome BMT onto the stream. And BMT, did you get a chance to see the video as you were coming in?
Yeah, I saw the video. Good morning, Faith. Good morning, Screen Learning. Good morning, everyone. To the Faith in the Morning Ride. Yeah, I saw the video. That's all. I don't want to read into the ring too much because I know some people who are married, due to their work or different stuff, they don't wear a ring. And I actually know some people who are married, they just don't wear a ring. Rings are just showcasing. Oh yeah, well, I'm, just a showcase, but doesn't. Other than that, it's not that big of a deal. Um, you know who you are on paper. But as far as it goes about that, I rolled up. Whoever first want to get this front seat gets the front seat, unless you have a medical problem. I mean, doesn't look like that lady has a medical problem or a prosthetic leg or some crap. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. Like, I don't sit in the back seat because I have a knee problem. So, but if I'm riding and my mom got the front seat, and I pull up and I'm picking up my wife, just sit in the back. Shit, just get in the car. We could have been gone. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean, oh my God, I love my wife any less. Just means that guess what? My mom's already in the front seat. That's not no mama boy thing. But that's just a showcase of, okay, that's respect. It's an elder. You're not looking down on me. I mean, it'd be no different than if I came up to pick up my mom to go to dinner, and my wife is sitting in the front. My mom can just go sit in the back. That's that dumb little stuff going on. It's not even that big of a deal. Like, I think the mom would, like I said, mom would probably be getting taken to the airport. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why the girl is fighting if the mom was already sitting right there, and the son's like, yo, just get you behind in the car. You making something more than what it is. And she's like arguing with the mom. You know what I'm saying? You calling me mama boy? Listen, that could be a deal breaker right there. I mean, I got like that's stuff that could be handled on the side. Right now, you embarrassing us all. You know what I'm saying? So you could, and I don't know, especially coming outside in that little outfit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm not worried about the outfit too much. It is what it is. She probably just want to dress like that. But just being honest, you could have got in the car and literally we could have talked about it on the side between me and you, because I'm your, we're mates. I don't know why you're attacking the third person of the party, which is the mother. That's something that between me and you, we should have handled. So yeah, we'll stop right there.
All right. Well, welcome full circle, and I am Sugar Bee. You know what? You just said a mouthful, BMT. And here's the thing: I think that she's being really selfish, like you said, and kind of childish too. I don't really see, anything wrong with her outfit, because, it's age appropriate. I guess she's in her 20s or whatever. So, she looks nice in the outfit. So, I don't see anything about the outfit, but she is very disrespectful. That's what I'm looking at. Like I said, I've been raised to respect my elders, and there's something else going on, like Screen Learning mentioned earlier, with the dynamic between her and that mother. The reason that it looks like she's like emotionally involved in it. I'm looking at her body language, I'm looking at the expression on her face, and just how she just immediately, as soon as he basically rolled up, he shouldn't even hardly give him a chance to get out of the car, and she's just going off. So there's a lot going on in this situation, more than just a front seat. Because see, if I'm wifey, I already have the ring on my finger. I mean, what more do I have to prove at this point? It just seems to me like she's doing a hell of a lot here. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Screen Learning?
Well, it's definitely a power struggle, and the I guess the significant other, sister or homegirl, she's out there helping to instigate the whole situation, and this is about a power struggle. You see it all the time when it comes to like relationships. I mean, not all the time, but a lot of times where the girlfriend, wife, whatever she may be, she's competing with the mom for the attention and loyalty of basically the son. I've seen this a lot of times with women I've dated, or just really women in general, where it's just like the mom and the significant other, they meet, they don't hit it off, and it becomes a little power struggle where every time the mom calls the son, the significant other is trying to, make little slick comments in the background while he's on the phone, or whenever the son is around the girlfriend or wife or whatever, the mom is kind of making little comments. It's kind of like a little power struggle, and that's just one of those things when it comes to the wife slash girlfriend and the mom. And this really right here is where the power struggle takes a head, because just the fact that she called him a mama's boy signifies that's how she feels, is that she believes that he should cling to her and not be loyal to the mom or his mom. If you think about like the Bible, how it says leave your parents and cling on to your wife, she really believes that since she's in the picture now, the mom should take a back seat and respect the fact that she's in her son's life, instead of she's in the son's life, but the mom comes first. So it's a power struggle, and you really have to make a decision who comes first, not just the front seat, but just in everything in general, because it's going to start off with the front seat, but it's going to turn into other little things. And if you don't put your foot down, you could really easily get into a situation where somebody's trying to do some type of like I'm going to say try to boss you around and control you, and then this can turn into somebody trying, being henpecked or something like that. So it's definitely a power struggle, and dude better put his foot down with his old lady ASAP, because if not, this is just the beginning before he gives an inch and she tries to take a mile.
Yeah, I just wonder what happened between her and that mother, and in that relationship, because, somebody just pulling up and you getting that upset, about somebody sitting in the front seat just doesn't make any sense to me. A front seat ride, I mean, a back seat ride, I really don't care. To me, I don't have no type of dog in this fight as far as a seat is concerned when it comes to a mother-in-law. Like it's understood that that's his mother. So, I'm going to go ahead out of respect, because that's his mother. I'm going to sit in the back seat, especially if, like you said, she's already sitting in the front seat. I just think that there's a lot of immaturity going on here. And likewise, if he had rolled up and his wife was in the front seat already, and the mom was just, coming out or whatever, the mom should just hop in the back seat, like BMT said, unless there's some type of medical situation and the mother just can't sit in the back seat, then that's something totally different. But this was just ridiculous. I think the wife was throwing a unnecessary tantrum, and like BMT said, that would be an issue. Somebody, like you said, somebody needs to get with that young lady and speak with her about her attitude. Because first of all, with me, public embarrassment is like the worst thing anybody can do to me. I don't like all that yelling and screaming in public and causing a scene, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was just being loud, belligerent, causing a scene over something as small as a front seat. So, that's something that I just can't get with right there. It's not ladylike. It doesn't speak to, I'm grown or any of that. She's still acting like a child, in my opinion. So, what did he do? Marry a child bride? She looks like a kid anyway. So, it could very well be that. But I'm going to go ahead and pass over to BMT. BMT?
Yeah. Pretty much when it comes down to the see, there's levels to these kind of things. Um, we're trying to look at it from all the aspects. Uh, if a car seat is spark or ignition issue, and we're taking into account stuff such as um, let's take into account that one, if you're just a girlfriend, you're just a girlfriend, I'm a wife, just some little shawty I met up on. I'm sorry, you just my shawty. We ain't nothing serious. You just a fling. Um, we don't know if you coming or staying. Well, I don't know. So me choosing family over for somebody in the streets, not doing that. I'm not gonna. I'm not looking at the person in the street I just met. You know what I'm saying? Wife, if that is his wife, and one, if you my spouse, you ain't gonna be embarrassing me like that. And I wouldn't embarrass you if you rolled up with your dad. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in the front seat. We think I'm gonna say, well, your dad need to get out the front seat. See, like, uh-oh. No, I'm just gonna sit in the back. It's just not that big of a deal. From your husband, I already made it. Ain't that big of a deal. You know, women get very, very finicky. When it comes to their children. You know what I'm saying? That you had the front seat when it comes to your children. So, looking at a situation, if you telling your child something, my mama can't overwrite what you, the mother, is telling your child. but you're the driver of that situation. You know what I'm saying? Same thing, you know. So there's a lot of things. Like right now, one, she's having some type of issue. This it's more than just the seat. Y'all are playing it out about the seat. No, it's more than just the seat. See, that's a make it or break a deal. Because the minute you trying to disrespect my masculinity and trying to dumb me down to a boy in front of my family and in public, see now I now know there might be some more stuff. What would you say behind closed doors? Feel me? And the fact that you got a second person or a third party entity in there. See, that's that behavior, you know, and we keep it a PG-13, that PG, that's that behavior that literally means that you've been talking to other people. So you got to catch the signs on these things. That you've been talking to other people about us because that person felt pretty what's to say felt pretty comfortable to insert themselves in our situation. Y'all two get what I'm saying? Because normally when two people or couples arguing, most people sit on the outside and just try to they feel a little uncomfortable or they try to feel it. The fact that the other person is stepping in on it, oh no, that means y'all are pretty comfortable with this type of scenario. So that means you know what? I might need to go ahead and all right. You want to act like that? You know, whatever we got planned after I drop my mom off at wherever she got to go, or maybe probably with the three thing, I was probably going to take y'all out to do something, or hey, maybe y'all supposed to go down with me to somewhere together as a family. But you're not really making it a family thing. You're making it a competition. And one thing that's the last thing you need when you're having a family is competition. You know what I'm saying? She's my mother. You're my woman or my wife. Well, really my wife. You know what I'm saying? Or unless we got a child together. We're not doing the competition thing. Y'all got y'all categories. Y'all got your role. And you can't know your role. I understand that she stepped in her role and she disrespected her when we rolled up. But if she just, you know what I'm saying, pull up and she just sitting there in her own world and you disrespecting her, nah. See, now you're in the wrong and we got to check that indoors. Like I would have just told her, all right, you good. I wouldn't even got out the car. I say, all right, you stay right there. I'll come pick you up probably tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't about to do this today. So you ain't about to have me looking out there looking crazy in the street. You gonna sit right there and stew in it. If you don't call me back, hey, you wasn't meant to be. Because you ain't on code to building a family.
Well, I have to ask you though. I mean, because clearly we all know that there's got to be something more going on here besides this front seat. But if the
Fact.
roles were reversed and it was her sitting in the front seat and she rolled up with her father in the front seat, is this as big a deal for men as it is with women? Like if she rolled up, the dad sitting in the front seat, do you just say, hey, give your father-in-law daps and just sit in the back seat? Or do you stand there and demand that your father-in-law get out and go sit in the back because you're the husband?
You can start off with screen learning on that one.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
whoever.
stream learning.
So in this situation, you roll up with someone already in the front seat. I mean, nobody. I've never incurred a situation where someone just gets up from the front seat and gets in the back. If you're already in the front, you're already in the front. However, for this what if scenario, let's say you roll up in the vehicle by yourself, and then the dad and or like the mom and the wife or girlfriend or the dad and the husband are outside the vehicle. I mean, really, people are going to already be reaching for doors on their own. So if it turns into a fight with who sits in the front seat, I would pretty much go like this. If if I'm married to somebody, then they're gonna get in the front seat. Because obviously we live to I mean, in my opinion, if we're married, we're gonna be living together. I'm not about to choose some random girlfriend or just a long-term girlfriend to get in the front seat when obviously I didn't care about them enough if if I didn't put a ring on their finger or whatever. So I would still have the eldest person sit in the front seat as far as order of importance. But if it's somebody like I'm married to, living with, I got a relationship with or whatever, then I would probably adjudicate and would say if the person I'm with means a lot to me, then we would have a quick conversation between the three of us, and I would say, hey mom, hey dad, can they go ahead and get in the front seat? But really, it really should be the eldest person being in the front seat, no matter what. It just depends on what the significant other or spouse or whatever means to me. Because to be honest, I'm not trying to argue all night with nobody I live with, and it's clear that it's going to be a power dynamic associated with it, and with that power dynamic, you just have to understand that you're going to have to pick a side, and whoever side you pick for this front seat, it's going to roll into other stuff down the road, and you're kind of better off banking on the significant other as opposed to the parent, especially when you're talking about
So
building.
you would make your mother move out the front seat for your wife if
Well,
it
no,
came down if it came down to it. That's what I'm hearing.
not move out so if the mother is already in the front seat, she's not getting out. The second part that I was saying is if both people are outside the vehicle and both of them reach for the front seat, and then now they're arguing, like they're neither one of them in the car, but whoever's there first stays there. That's how I would do the politics of that.
So I guess it's my turn. So far as it comes to a man dynamic for me, um, tell you right now, like again, like I said, I have a knee, so I already tell people, listen, I got a bad knee, and so I for the most part I drive my own self. But uh, I would probably honestly, to be honest, when it comes to that, if the old dude or my stepfather or father-in-law or uncle, whoever, somebody's sitting in the front, I ain't gonna be like, giving her the wink, like, hey babe, you know what to do, like get him out the way so I can sit in the front. I'm just gonna go. All right, cool. Hey, can y'all scoot up y'all seat here? Hey, I'm gonna be sitting back there, so scoot it up. I'm a big guy. I'm not gonna care. I don't care about no seat. I just want us to get there to a location. Besides, he's old, so you know what I'm saying? I'm not sweating those little things. And that means I feel pretty insecure about my. That means you got some insecurity problem. There you go. That's the word. You got some insecurity
Exactly.
problem. You got some insecurity problem about your relationship. If a seat is really bothering you, like the power has been converted from leaving out from you over a seat. Like, oh my God, Josiah's sitting in the back seat and his wife's sitting up there with her uncle or her. Bro, chill out. Like, at the end of the day, we get home, food's still gonna be cooked, things are gonna still be done. I'm not sweating over the little things. Where I come from, you respect your elders. And if I know there's an older person and I know they already got, they got some stuff going on, I'm not gonna be freaking out over no seat. I'm gonna just be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you want to see? And I've done that. I've done that to more elderly people, they were going to sit in the back, and I said, "Nah, man, sit in the front, man. There's the you'll get the AC first, or you know what I'm saying." That most of the time they don't mind sitting in the back because they can be back there with the grandkids or something like that. So, but I don't mind giving them the front seat. Too. If anything, you can do more stuff in the back and be left alone. But so, as far as it goes about that, first of all, and that's the thing about y'all assuming that's the wife. You're assuming that's the wife. That's the wife. If that was a wife, she wouldn't be. I don't know why the wife needs to be that insecure.
But what I think I heard her yelling in the video, "I'm your wife, I'm your wife," and then everybody's saying in the video, and I heard her say, "That's my car." So also, that brings into a whole nother dynamic.
Let's
Okay,
okay, go
that's
ahead.
her car. So
Okay, that's her
shouldn't
car.
she? Yeah,
Okay, so let's play that because we got to be careful In this day and age, people call living together, I'm your husband, I'm your wife. Like, I don't know why in this dark terminus of time that people call shacking up together. That means we're married. You're not married. You're married because y'all saying y'all married because y'all share toilet paper. That doesn't really mean you're married. But we're gonna
But
go off
you
of that.
you, you want to see it again? Play it
No,
again, Screen
no,
Learning.
no, 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 no. I'll go for it. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
All right, playing it again. All right,
That's
because
gonna
I
make it
remember her
even
saying that
worse.
that's my car. That's my car. But let's just double check that one. Because if it's her vehicle, that does make a big difference. All right, let's do this. Uh,
What's going on here? Like, why she in the front seat? And I get that that's your mom and everything, but like, you going to the back, right? No, absolutely not. Why? What are you talking about? I'm your wife. Are you serious right now?
oh, she is the
We
wife.
gotta keep having these type of conversations. Every time I link up with your mother, is always a problem. I'm in his life now, so why are you still here?
I'm always gonna be.
Okay, but go to the back fucking seat.
Babe, babe,
I'm
babe,
your
that's my
wife.
mom.
I'm your
I
fucking
love
wife.
you, and
This
I
is
love
my
you.
car.
This don't
But
got
this
nothing
is
to do
my
with you.
car. Why do I not look?
All right. So let's go and change up the dynamic of the whole meltdown. Let's go and change up the whole dynamic of the meltdown. So we're gonna have to reevaluate. Right?
Yeah,
So let's reevaluate. Let's be BBN Black Balance Network. All right. So all right. So seems like they've had this conversation before. Seems like they had this conversation before and stuff like that. So let's wash into that. I guess I missed that part of it. Hey, I make mistakes. So
I
when it
missed it
comes
too.
to so hey, it's all right. It's all right. That's why we're BBN. We got this, buddy. Fist bump. So yeah. So when we're gonna look at this, so when we look at this now, okay, so they've had the conversation before, what she said out there, and she says, "Listen, I'm in his life." Now we gotta let women know or mothers know, hey, he has another. If he has a woman in his life, you got to fall back and inserting yourself into certain situations. If that's her car and she wants to sit in the front seat of her car, no matter what you say, that's her car. But no matter what, they would have called, you know, the police, and she wanted to be petty, which that would be crazy. They're gonna say, "Whose car is this?" That's all he's gonna ask. Whose car is this? And he said he could. If he said, "Whose car is this?" You know, then literally that's it. You know, and that's true. What y'all saying. Looking at it like that, we got to ask ourselves. And I'm gonna throw a little a curveball at it. Screen. What if he's from a different? What if he's from a culture where they do put the elderly before their wives? Mm. I'm gonna throw a little curveball at that, but I know some cultures, the elderly always get first dibs, regardless of which. So if he has a cultural rearing, you understand what I'm saying? That elderly person is always going to have a say. Sorry, but abuela is not going to be overvoiced by your wife. I'm just saying. You know what I mean, everybody knows that. Big mama, you know what I'm saying, or some people like I don't make the rules of these kind of situations, but I get it. That's his what. That's his wife, and that's her car. And you know what I'm saying? Say, hey, if there's that much of an issue, maybe I need to go get us in the other car. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to cause no controversy. I'll go get us in the other car. You know what I'm saying? But if you and your wife are already having conversations about this, it is what it is. I'm just not for that. I
Well,
just I
I heard something else too. I heard her say to her husband that there's always a problem when I meet up with your mom.
see, yeah, yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. So if they always having an issue, then they're at a pretty much a bigger problem than just that seat. You know what I'm saying? So they got a pretty much a bigger problem at that than just that. And then we got to start asking the question because we got to start asking the question on that. What what's really conspiring? that they having that these issues or why they keep sparking up. Like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So I'll pass it over the screen.
Yeah, once now rewatching it and getting more detail, the wife's out of line, and let me explain why. No, I'm not gonna say the wife's out of line. I'm gonna say it does change the dynamic. So if we're married, it's our car. So the wife just saying it's my car, right there we got a problem. Because if we're married and it's community property, it's our car. Even if she brought it into the marriage, maybe we were married and she got financed at her name only for whatever reason, because my credit, Jody's credit's messed up, so she had to get financed at her name only. That stuff happens too, but it's our car. We're married, it's our car. And then second of all, where's your ring? But we ain't gonna get into all that. We ain't gonna go there.
I brought that up, screen. I said
Yeah,
that.
you did. If you look, let's
about that ring, man.
Let's go ahead and set this thing on off. First of all, where's your ring at? You with your homegirl trying to be footloose and fancy free. You bumping your gums about who's in the front seat. Where's your ring at? It's in your pocket. Why is your ring in your pocket? So now we got problems because you roll up trying to be loud with your little homegirl. I guess this is the homegirl you cheat with, but you ain't got your ring on while you got your hand all in my face. Obviously, you must have been trying to entertain somebody and you ain't want them to know you married. So that's first of all. Let's put that in the back pocket for later on in this conversation because you ain't got no ring on, but now you trying to talk about.
Wow, you men.
Hold up, Faith.
Really?
Hold up, Faith. You ain't got your ring on, and now you're trying to go out here talking about this is your car. And number two, if we married, this is supposed to be our mom. So now all of a sudden, you don't want to claim me and claim our mom when I'm not around. And now you trying to let everybody know this is your car only. That's how you feel about the relationship or marriage while you ain't got your ring on. And see, this is at that point, he really should have been focusing on this ring not being on this finger because the mom's not going to be here forever. I got it. Y'all got this power struggle, but you ain't got this ring on. So when did you take this ring off and who in the neighborhood are you going to go see while you don't have this ring on? That's the conversation right there. That's later on. Don't worry. We'll get to that. But her saying this is my car and it really should be our car, that needs to be nipped in the bud and checked immediately right then and there. They lucky that it's early for me and that I was halfway asleep. See, I slept on that part because in the beginning of the video, I was like, she ain't got no ring on. I guess she's, the girlfriend or whatever. But when she said that, I'm your wife, where's your ring at? How about that? I keep going back to that because
Kane. So the ring thing is not that serious, okay? I can't believe you all are bringing up this ring.
Are you serious? Hold on. Faith. You and Kane are running out. Talking about the ring ain't that serious. You know why rings come off. You know why rings come off.
Okay, well, people forget their ring all the time. I mean, that's not a real serious thing.
So you took it off to get to go ahead and
maybe I took it off to get in the shower. I mean, people don't shower with their rings on. I don't think I didn't shower with my ring on.
Hold up, you and your homegirl decided to take a shower together, so you took your ring off. Your homegirl didn't just run up out of nowhere.
Okay, but what if I left the house without it? What if I got out the shower, got dressed, and did a myriad of other things around the house and just forgot to put it on?
So you could put your makeup on, but you can't put on your ring? You can put your makeup on, but you can't put your ring on.
I mean, it happens. I mean, it happens.
Now it happens, but now when I roll up with my mom, you want to bump your gums about, it's my car, but now it's not our car, it's not our mom. But obviously, but you could think of all that and have all that energy, but where's that same energy when it comes to finding your ring? Where's your ring at? Is it in your pocket?
Okay, but were you guys checking for his ring? Were you checking for his ring?
Can we see his hand? Can we see his hand?
We can't even see his hands. We can't even see his hands.
I did that. Can we see his hands? I'll do that. Okay, let's. let's look at everything. All right. So when we're
Okay.
taking a look at this, main thing that we would like to ask about one. All right. First off, that's his wife. If that's his wife, all right, that's their car. Okay. Now, if they're having this type of disagreement problem, all right, then first off, again, codes of conduct. Codes of conduct.
Okay, I don't see a ring on his finger though. I don't see. There's his hand.
Now, again, thank you for that, Faith. Code. I told you these type of street marriages that these people be talking about these days, when they, well, we together now, I'm your wife. Like, people think that they husband and wife because they live together for like 2 or 3 years, but they never get married and shack up. We'll leave that alone. I will not do that right now. I'm so used to these common law marriages. I hope y'all know common law marriages don't really, in the eyes of the courts. We'll leave that alone. So we'll say this. Listen, man. If you my wife, why are you doing this right now? No different than why are we embarrassing each other in the streets? Clearly, this is deeper than just a seat. People are
Yeah,
focusing.
I think that he's a mama's boy personally.
Now,
You know, just
I will not take that from you. I will not take you. I will leave you the mama's boy inference. What where you go off cold is y'all are doing this in the streets like fools. This, and I'm keeping it PG. As I'm, you know what I'm saying? They
okay.
were
Well,
doing.
see, I am Sugar B says that this was handled wrong, but the husband didn't set boundaries with the mother regarding his wife. And looking at how this played out, I'm gonna have to agree with I am Sugar B on this. He clearly didn't set any boundaries.
Okay, and I will go ahead and give you that one. I will give you that. I'm not taking that away. But I'm like, okay, if y'all had these issues, because this is when my patience as a man grows thin. If I know that if I know that Mimi and my mother, which women have collided on things, hair, different other stuff, child rearing and little stuff like that, I'm like, listen, then y'all just don't need a collab at all. And people gonna say, well, how can you say that? Easy, but I'm the man, and I'm gonna keep my peace. So y'all just won't ever collab. Well, guess what? We got to go somewhere. Oh, I guess you're gonna have to get up early, so that way I can get you to where you need to get to, and then after that, I will go pick up our mother, and I'll drop her off, and I'll come get you. Wait, all that with the gas? Well, because y'all can't work together. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and just keep y'all two apart until y'all learn how to doggone be civil. Because we're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna go ahead and do this. But I just want you to understand, keep that same energy when it comes to your family. And this is where you get these 90-day fiance type of things where, hey, we're not trying to be copacetic as a family. Now, sometimes as men, some men have a problem G checking their mother and saying, yo, fall back. I've had that battle before with my mother. And I had to let her know. That's why I brought it up about the scenarios. If it's me and my wife and my kids, okay? Mama's not in there because I got my own household, you know? So if it comes to something dealing with our property, our children, our lifestyle, mama has no say. She can give a suggestion, but that's as far as it could go, you know. But I gotta understand, I gotta be my own man of the house. Same
But
thing when it
see,
goes.
you know, me being a woman, I'm just gonna interject this real quick. Sorry to cut you off,
You're fine.
but I can just imagine what she's going through with that mother, because when I look at the demeanor of the mother sitting in that car, she was like, I'm not gonna budge. You know, she was just kind of like egging
Hmm.
the woman on, making the situation worse. She was like, I'm not going nowhere, you know, with an attitude, you know, like for myself. If I knew that, this is going to be a problem for my son and his marriage, I would just get my behind out the car if I'm able bodied and go sit in the back seat of that woman's car, especially if I know that's her car on top of it. So I
Right.
think the mother is being kind of messy as well.
No, no,
So
she is. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, man, I have sometimes I have, we all some of us have had run-ins with family members of the opposite family, and you know what? You know what I do? Hey, so and so's gonna be getting in the car, Joe. You already know that. Joe, don't do that. You know what I'm gonna do? Turn on my music. I'm gonna go sit in the back, and I'm just gonna go do me. I'm just gonna go do me in the back. I already know how it's gonna turn out, so I just don't give it that energy. I get you with that. So you know what? Cool. But I honestly think that both women, what I'm saying, mother already. I would have told my mom, listen, mom, when we ride up, just you need to get in the back. If she can't understand that, she got a problem with that, then I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, Faith is gonna say something when we pull up. Let's keep the peace. Until for the 45-minute drive, keep the peace. Simple. It's not even that big of a deal. But like I said, this is something a lot of women and men deal with every day. This is not a black thing. This is a people's thing. It's a power struggle. Some women have a problem of learning to not let their sons go. Some fathers have a problem of learning to let their daughters go. And this is not just a mother thing. This is a people's thing. You know what I'm saying? And you got to learn when to fall back. Like Screen, I gotta agree with Screen. The woman saying this is my car. Okay, maybe we're gonna probably say she would probably say this is my car, as in, this is our car. My car. I'm trying to interpret street language, but if she's saying that's my car, or you know what, you done messed up your car. This is my car. So, but technically it's supposed to be our car. And I ain't gonna lie, I have said that before. And Mimi has checked me and said, no, these are our cars. We're paying on them. And I'll be like, I don't like that R word. I don't like that R word. Yeah, okay, yes, I curse back. I don't care. This is PG, so I'm saying it just a nice way. So yes, I have said that. And she's like, no, Joe, stop. So yes, these things do happen when we start playing clean on stuff, but it's more big. It's not that big. I'll give it to you, Screen.
all right, and also shout out to Sister George and Curlin in the chat room. I'm quite sure Curlin lets Sister George ride up front when he picks her up with his mom sitting in the front seat.
Yeah, the Jody pretty much already made his decision when he pulled up. So even though it's Yvette's car, she probably pays the bill, probably in her name only. When Jody rolled up and got out the vehicle, instead of saying something to the mom before getting out the vehicle, he already made his choice as far as who goes first. So at that point, knowing that Jody has picked his mom over Yvette, if we do in the baby boy situation, which is kind of is a baby boy situation, at that point, I could see. I guess I guess we'll consider them being married because they ain't got no rings on or whatever. But at that point, she probably said, "This is my car," as a way to kind of fight against her husband, because he's chosen the mom over her. Just him getting out the vehicle and not saying anything to the mom at all, and kind of getting in Yvette's face, he's chosen the mom, and that's pretty much letting her know, because this isn't the first time, so this is letting her know exactly how the relationship dynamic's going to be until the mom passes away. So this is a lot to unpack, and me personally, I would have that conversation. If I want to be before your mom, I want to be the number one person in your life. Because I say all the time, your only obligation is your children and significant other. I'd have that conversation if he's trying to gaslight, deflect, or he's talking about well, that's my mom. My mom, she's always going to come first to me. Then at that point, you got to kick rocks. You got to vote with your feet, because Him getting out the vehicle, not saying anything to the mom while he was inside, and getting in your face, trying to calm you down. That shows right there who he chooses, and that situation is not going to go well, especially if they do have children together or they will have children. It's just not going to go well. And let's just say if the mom did have like a disability or some type of issue or whatever, I mean, that's different. But the mom didn't say that. She was like, I'm here. I'm always gonna be here. So the mom's already got her funky attitude, and the mom knows that she's gonna come first. Jody knows the mom comes first. So at that point, the wife needs to make a decision. Do you want to continuously be bossed around and bullied by his mom and never be first in his life, or are you gonna, put yourself first and bounce out the situation? If I was her, I would leave.
Over the front seat, really?
It's more to it than the front seat. It's more to it. This is about power. I'm telling you, this is about power control, and this is about control. This is about power. And see, right now, it starts off with the front seat, because they probably diffused this situation, argued, and the wife probably got in the back seat, even though she's paying for the vehicle, whatever. But it starts off with the front seat. Then it's gonna go into, when it comes to like holidays, whose parents' house do you go to first for a holiday? Well, he's gonna want to go to his mom's house, and she's gonna want to go to her people's house, and he probably is never gonna budge to go to her family's house first. Or taking another step further, when it comes to, um, let's just say taking a trip somewhere, the mom gonna be in the front seat for a trip if they're driving somewhere. Or let's just say when it comes to deciding what restaurant you want to go to, the mom is probably gonna get the first say so at what restaurant they go to. You see what I'm saying? Like like in
Yeah,
this
yeah. I
situation.
see. I see what you're saying. That it's just gonna go on and on like an ongoing thing. So,
And he's
but
gonna always side with
yeah,
the mom. And he's always gonna side with the mom just because he got out the vehicle without saying anything to the mom and immediately went to go check the wife outside, knowing good and well his mom is sitting there popping her gums and got her head out the window. He has picked his mom over his wife, and to me that's a problem.
yeah. He really needs to learn to put his foot down. And I see what you're saying, but for me, that would just be a turn off that he doesn't put his foot down. And I can probably imagine, like you said, if the mom is over to his house, and heaven forbid they have children, the mom is probably trying to boss her around, tell her how to raise the kids, giving unsolicited advice about cooking, how she keep her household, how she run her household. So yeah, I can see how that could be problematic, going forward. So that's on the son. The onus is on him. He needs to hold
Exactly.
that L.
He might be a mama's boy.
Oh, like I said, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna cut this in. If you already knew the situation of when you were getting in with this person, and you already should have saw the dynamic. Because it's not like she just popped up after y'all got married. She said, "Well, I'm here. You already know we're married, so that means you already been dealing with this. You chose the contract. You chose the contract. So you just as dumb. Sorry, she's. I don't feel bad for her. I don't, because you knew he was like that. It's like y'all know what y'all be getting into when y'all get married. So you knew, it ain't like he changed like overnight. He been like that. You probably time when y'all get arguing with boyfriend and girlfriend, you probably call his mama. So I don't know why. I don't feel bad for her. I don't. I don't. Like I said, I mean, it's like when you marry, your immediate family becomes priority. So I agree with that. But you should have vetted. This is why you get to meet the person, you get to meet their family, and you get to see their friends. You see all their interactions. You supposed to start collecting the data, put down your little cue cards and stuff of how they act, see how they interact with elderly people, our age group, and children, and then you go judge from there. That's why I say the 2 year dating vetting period is essential because that's where you know, yo, that's why I say 2 years is not, and that's not long. That's actually pretty short. Because now
Well,
that's
so
really
so how do you think that he should resolve this? Because he's got a problem on his hands. Both of
good.
those women seem to be very headstrong, the mama and the wife.
I'm gonna tell you how you need it. I just told you. Listen, y'all can't get along. Listen, man. All right, mom, I'm gonna let you know right now. We got a family. Um, holiday dinners. Listen, my old lady and the kids. To be honest, my old lady and the kids. I just want to bring them around on the holidays. I'm just not gonna bring them around the holidays. Well, you gonna do that? I just got to because I got to keep the peace at the home. We gonna hey, I'm just tell my baby you got to step up on holidays. You got to start learning. We got to start learning how to do those holiday dinners. I know. I have done that. I have done that where it literally, hey, there's too much chaos between the women. Listen, all right, we and I love it now because we do Thanksgiving dinners at my house. We do better. We have more fun. When it comes to doggone children, hey, don't change my daughter's hair. I know you don't like my daughter's hair how the old lady did it, but guess what? She did the hair. She took her time. Unless you're gonna pay her and compensate her, don't change the kid's hair. Don't do nothing that they haven't done. And so you got to start establishing the boundaries. Now the man with the woman, listen, I'm gonna let him know, yo, if you feel that your mama has more voice over me, I need to start pulling back some what does the woman call it? Some advances that I would give you as my wife from you. Because clearly you need to go be laying up in bed with your mama, not me. So we ain't about to play this game. And I know some people who have done that. If we got these kind of issues going on with the kids and all this stuff, we need to start drawing back until you can figure this out. And it does happen to where some men have lost their family because of these issues. So you got to be understanding that these things do happen, and it also goes vice versa, where some women have put their brothers, cousins, daddy, whoever in the midst of a man. No, you can't talk to them both in the same room.
Yeah, yeah, you do have some daddy girls out here. That's true.
Exactly. So you can't talk to them both in the same room. That if they can't handle a car seat, I'm pretty sure being people do behind closed doors, they turn up to 1 million. I've seen it at church. So I can only imagine where they are behind closed doors when there ain't no camera. So possibly the best thing that they can do, listen, if we gonna have these issues now and we can't get this through counseling, then yo, we might need to start renegotiating. We don't got no kids. We might need to just break the lease, chop it up, and get that 120, that 120 divorce. I think it's 120. Is it 225 or 120? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's at one. It's 150 now. My bad. So yeah, we just need to get that 150, break down the TVs and everything in the house, and we just need to go about our own ways because there ain't no need for us. We're just roommates. So that's just how it needs to be.
Okay, and stream learning, how would you resolve the situation? I mean, would you go to BMT route? BMT says separate them if need be. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with BMT because uh, men have lost their immediate family dealing with family members. Family is always going to be a problem if your family doesn't get along with who you're in a relationship with or who you're married with, then you're gonna have to check your family. And if it comes down to it that they're still trying to be disrespectful and talk out the side of their face, then you got to cut family off. Because I remember I had to do that because it's just like and it really boiled down to that just from this interaction, what I'm thinking is he grew up in a single mother household and she made him the man of the house. And that's the reason why the mom's like, I'm here, I'm always going to be here. Because, where's his dad at? If his dad was around or alive, he probably would not only check the mom, but probably would have driven up in their own vehicle. So this might have been a situation where growing up, she made the son the man of the house. You know, it's just you and I together. We're Bonnie and Clyde. And now that he went in and found this woman, that's what she's thinking. He went and found this woman. Now she's trying to replace me. And that's kind of the thing you gotta kind of look at when you go to date somebody, because if they grew up in a single parent household, you're going to automatically be struggling for power, because the son or daughter or just the kids in general to that like single parent, that's like their whole world. And now they're thinking, well, we were Bonnie and Clyde while you were growing up and I was raising you. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, you can have your little girlfriends to mess around with and do your little thing with and play trampoline, but I'm your mama. I'm always going to be here. So just him not saying anything to the mom, when the mom, stuck her head out the window talking about something, I'm always going to be here. Just him getting out the vehicle, not saying anything to the mom, and immediately going to the wife and trying to calm the wife down and back the wife up. It just shows who he's chosen, and it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work.
Now
What he should have done is check.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
Well,
I was
he
just.
should have checked.
Oh no. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. He should have checked the mom. But I'm going on mute. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that this reminds me of another scenario that they were passing around on social media, where the husband and the father-in-law got into an argument at a family gathering, and the husband jumps up and says, "Get your stuff and get in the car. We're leaving." And then the father told the daughter, "No, you sit down." And the daughter standing there in the middle of the floor in between her husband and the father, like not sure what to do.
I
And
saw
so
that.
the question was, do you go get in the car, obey your husband and go get in the car and leave with your husband, or do you, do what your father says and sit down?
The
So it was like,
husband.
I don't know. That's a weird scenario for me because I'm just gonna be honest. I'm a total daddy's girl. I'm just gonna
I
I'm
was,
just
I was
I'm just gonna
molested.
admit it.
Listen.
You
Yeah,
got to leave with that husband. You
yeah,
got all right.
listen. I was on all that is highly and mighty. Another man, what I'm saying, thank you, Dad. You did make a beautiful woman, and I cherish her every night. But you best understand, I'm daddy now. I'm the man now. And guess what? You ain't over voicing nothing in my house. My bills, my children, my woman claim. So that little talk about she gonna sit there and ain't gonna, if it definitely she ain't being abused or nothing wrong, you don't got no say so. Uh and me telling my wife, my children, best believe I do pull rank at family gatherings. But people think they're gonna tell me or mine, oh, well, you gonna do this, you gonna do that. I'll be like, all right, bet we can get this done right now. I have no problem. So ain't none of that foolishness of telling me that that's my daughter. She gonna stay right there. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, listen, if you don't get in that car before I get there, you best believe. All right. But I don't want to embarrass. I'm not going to embarrass my wife at no family gathering to try to prove some male ego. But she's embarrassing me by having to second guess if she needs to listen to me, her husband, or her man. Same thing. Like, listen, man, that's your spouse. That's your spouse. Simply put. Because then you're going to hear that in the bedroom. I promise you. You're going to hear that in the bedroom. Yo, why'd you have the second guess whether you wanted to be? So now we got a problem on who the loyalty is to. So, Faith, we at the hour mark. We're going to keep it straight BBN, or what's the
Um,
call?
yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link down into the chat room
Let's
for anybody that wants to come up and have something to say on this situation of respect for the mother-in-law or the dad. Do you get your purse and leave if it's the dad, or do you let the mother-in-law stay in the car if it's the wife? But for me, I've always been a daddy's girl. It's really hard for me to say no to my dad. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's the same way. Like, I can understand some of these mama boys too, because you love your mama. Mama raised you. That's the first woman that you ever loved. And it's the same thing with me and my dad. I love my dad. My dad raised me. He's the first man I love. He's the first person that taught me about life and about men and everything else. So it's just kind of like, it's really kind of hard to break out of that mold of listening to your parents. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah,
do get what everybody's saying, but it really is hard. I mean, think about the love you have for your parents. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm
but Faith,
daddy. I'm daddy. You ain't daddy.
that's the reason why the dad walks the bride down the aisle and gives her away to the husband.
Now, we gotta also let y'all know, due to BBN content, one, no swearing, no cursing. If you haven't noticed, we have not been swearing or cursing. Also, along with that, panel etiquette, pretty much we try to keep it to where, as to, we respect each other, we do not cut each other off, and also we try to keep our panel minimum talking time so that everyone gets a chance to talk. I believe that's something that we went over in our meeting. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you got to swear, we got to just put you down. So we got to start learning how to go do panels without cursing. I mean, I don't. We can't tell y'all to do y'all panels, but our panel we're trying to do it without cursing. And I think
Yes,
Faith is trying to do it without.
this is a swearing free zone now, guys. So we're trying to keep it PG. But yeah, I get what you guys are saying down there in the chat room. I know the father's not paying the bills or any of that, but for me, it's a respect thing, respect of the elderly. Like, I really do think that in the black community, we don't respect the elders anymore. When I was coming up, I was always taught to respect my elders. So, that meant, letting them ride in the front seat. That meant biting my tongue, even if they made me angry. So, it's just a whole different dynamic. But now you got kids outright cursing out their grandparents, just being outright disrespectful. So, where is the respect anymore? What do you guys think?
That's why I say the dad walks the bride down the aisle and gives her away to the husband. That's symbolic that I carried her this far and now you're taking over. So in that situation online with the wife in between the dad and the husband, oh, and between the wife and the husband, it's like he's already walked her down the aisle and given her to the husband. Here comes the bride. That was the whole symbolic thing as far as giving her away. But see, for men, for groom, we don't have that. We literally just walk out and we're just standing there the whole time. That's the reason why I believe there's a problem with the power dynamic between the mom and the wife, because there really isn't a part of the wedding situation where the mom says, okay, I took care of my son, he's a man now, he's yours. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no situation with that. There is no symbolic part of this, of really any ceremony where the mom talks to the bride and actually says, well, here goes your son. I mean, they get their hair and stuff, hair done together, get their no their get their hair done together, maybe get their toes and feet, I mean, hands done together or whatever, but there really isn't like a part of the ceremony for that. And that's kind of the reason why we're seeing this power exchange. But that's it. That's like once the dad walks the bride down the aisle and quote unquote gives her away, he can no longer say, well, even though I gave her away, even though you paid the bills, young man, that's still my little girl. It doesn't work like that.
Faith. Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome.
Hello.
Good
Somebody.
Yes, we
morning.
can.
Good morning.
We
Good
hear you.
morning.
We looks like
It's
we
me.
have full
Hey.
circle on here.
Hey, Faith, good morning to everybody. I've got to say this. I know I was in the chat, but that's just my experience. I got to give a little bit pushback. Um, what was mentioned as far as the separating the wife and the mother, I do understand that, but I know within the black community, within black families, there's a lot of separation, and that's not always like a good thing. What I mentioned is if you're a man, you're going to have the man take the lead. Just out off of GP alone, out of respect from the mother and the wife, you're going to have that discussion with all three. You don't separate them. That's just my opinion. You don't separate just the mother and the daughter. And that's not what I meant. I meant that as a man because you don't want to lose that respect, especially the wife. She's already seeing that. The mother already has a son. So that alone, she should already have the respect from her son. But when it comes down to it, they're all are gonna have to talk together. No separating. Because if they're already getting into it, you have to put your foot down as a man. If you don't do that, then I don't know what else ever to say. There is no excuse for that being a man. You all have to come together and talk and discuss because that mother is not going anywhere, knock on wood, anytime soon, I don't believe. Hopefully, not from any health problems. So you got to come together and have that discussion. But that's just me.
Okay, that's fine, and you know how y'all handle it. Um, like I said, for me, I give ultimatum. Listen, either y'all gonna allow to cooperate or we separate, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not doing the kumbaya, my lord. We need to talk, if anything like that. I give people ultimatums in the household, and I've told that to her family, and I've told that to my family. Yo, like you can't get along, or y'all can't respectfully work. When I'm not doing no. Hey, let's go talk to the pastor. Nah, bump your pastor. I'm
So,
gonna cut
so if you
that.
say, oh,
Yeah,
sorry, just cutting in. If you
I'm
said
just
an ultimatum, that's your wife, though. I don't understand that. And then that's your mother. So what are you
right.
going to do? You're going to diss both of them or do a divorce if things just don't work out? You mentioned
No,
an
I just
ultimatum. So break
so
that down.
okay, so I'm gonna answer that. I listen to you. Okay, so what I just said simply was this: y'all can't get along. See, people like to say, "I'm your mother." Cool, yeah, that's fine. But however, that's my wife. If you cannot respect my family, then guess what? I need to separate me and my family. I need to separate me and my family because I'm not going to sit here and have you keep disrespecting my family. I'm not going to have you keep disrespecting my family. Until you can learn how to accept them, there is no we. And guess what? I have done that. And I have gotten amazing, immaculate results. So some people say, well, yeah, I'm not, see, that means the people aren't willingly working together. You're forcing them. You're forcing them to say, y'all going to sit down and talk. Nah, if they're not willing to be mature and talk, then I'm like, yo, and I heard people say, well, I'm your mother. She already told her, I'm not going anywhere. Listen, all right, cool. You're gonna act like that. You're gonna act like that. I see that y'all not trying to be a family. You're not trying to be a family. And Screen and I were just saying that, hey, then we're just gonna, hey, then I'm just gonna take my wife and we're gonna go our way. We're gonna go our way until y'all learn how to be more mature. If y'all can't be mature, then you know what I'm saying? Cut it up
Okay,
like
so
that.
let me ask you this: is this more than once or once? Because we really don't know. We're assessing the situation before the situation.
Well,
Is
she
this an
already,
ongoing thing? You're saying that it's an ongoing thing, and we don't really know that, or unless you're putting this as an example for the future times. I'm just looking at one situation of this example of happening one time, not on and on foregoing situations. I'm talking about one situation, and granted, that is the mother, but respect where respect is due. I get what you're saying, but there's going to be future events that you're going to still, that whole separating thing. I get that. If y'all don't get along, y'all just don't get along. We're bad at that. If it just happens,
is anybody else here? Screen.
No, I
Uh,
don't hear him anymore. But
I'm just saying, y'all gotta understand this. Listen, y'all. I have my family. That's my family. Melissa is my old lady, my wife. I've already had to do that. Where one time, I'm just give you a little, and mind you, screen in the face. You heard the lady, the wife said, "You've done this before. This has happened before. We've had these conversations."
yeah,
So, in saying that, I'm seeing that. Guess what? I see that y'all are not trying to literally sit down as adults and get it to work. So you know what I'm going to do? Since I need to keep on in the I'm not gonna keep running out there and making myself lose stress and look crazy. So guess what? Christmas, don't call us. Thanksgiving, don't call us. Birthdays, don't call us. Until y'all can say, hey, y'all can sit in the kitchen and play spades and be at peace, don't call us. It's no, it's all or nothing. That's the same thing for a wife and her father, wife and her mother. If you can't accept my family, my new husband, the father's child or whoever, don't call us because we are a full package deal. That's the problem. Like we keep forcing things, and that's when people start getting into fights and start doing maliciousness and start harming people. No, stop. Just take your family and be at peace. You got a whole new family.
All
Love up on.
right. Well, let me
So
go ahead and welcome the two new ladies to the panel. I want to welcome Cynthia and Miss Vivian. Love Wisdom. What's going on, ladies?
Good
Hey,
morning. Good morning.
good morning.
good
All
morning.
right. Well, let me go ahead and start. I don't know who got here first, but I'm going to start with Love Wisdom.
Um, in this case, I think mothers need to understand that that's their son, that's not their man. And once your son, he has a family now, you do sort of take a back seat. So in this case, she shouldn't have been in there acting like she's not going to budge and she's doing all of this stuff out the window. You should just sit in the back seat. That's his wife. And let's just say, I think Full Circle was talking about separation. Let's just say they had the conversation about this is what it's going to be. She still disrespected her son's leadership. She still disrespected him regardless because she refused to get up and go sit in the back seat. She wants to sit in the front seat and run her mouth. She still disrespected her son's leadership and his ability to run his own family. You're his mother. You're not his wife. At this point, you do take a back seat. You're a part, excuse me, you're a part of the family. But at this juncture, you take a back seat now. My wife is important right now. So I think some mothers have to understand that once your son become men and they start to have their own family, you don't have that position that you used to have when they were a child and you were raising them. Yes, your childbearing and your teaching is appreciated, but now he's a man, he's a leader. He has another family, and another woman is going to take precedent in front of you, and that's something that you're going to have to accept. If not, like BMT said, bye. Bye. It's not about you. It's not about you.
Okay. Can I say something? Hello?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
this thing, respect is mutual. And a lot of times we talk about old generational curses and sometimes in the Black family, we got this thing where the old people can say what they want to say and be disrespectful. But we supposedly raising our kids today that you don't let anybody abuse you, not your mama, not your sister, not your brother. And if people are not being respectful of you, you don't have to deal with it. And sometimes these old people got to be, if she 80 years old, that's one thing. But mama look like she a good 50 something. So she don't get to have that energy and be disrespectful. You can be respectful up to a point, and we don't know the history of these people. But after a while, just getting the old people past get played out. If you married a mama's boy, you know you get what you get, but you're gonna have to take him to the side and be like, listen, I'm losing respect for you. If you cannot stand up and be a man, we're going to have a problem. Not because your mama, but because of you. And so, I just think we have to recognize old people passes get expired after a while and after so much disrespect. And, they just got to do it. And one reason old people get to be buttholes when they old is because
nobody checked them when they were younger. Because I know having this uncle, he came to my house and he didn't even come in. So he was a butthole when we were younger. So when he was in the 40, he always been like that. So he don't get no old people pass. But eventually, everybody in the family started not dealing with him. He started coming around. So that's all I had to add to that. All right, that's it.
Okay, and I'm heading over into the mountains. So if you guys don't hear me saying anything, it's probably because I'm not here. But I do agree with what both you and Love's Wisdom put down. The only thing is, I understand, if an older person is being disrespectful, then and certainly, you don't want to entertain disrespect. But as far as like just in the sense of being respectful, just acknowledging that this person was somehow part of your upbringing, because you had your grandmothers and your grandfather that raised you. They're part of your upbringing. So why not show them a certain level of respect. That's just my whole take on it. But what is it killing you to show these people a certain level of respect? Because you're not ever going to be on the same footing as a person that wiped your behind when you was a baby. You see what I'm saying?
I agree, a certain level of respect, but how many passes does that get? And when you get to the point where it's too much, well, hey, it's gone on for a long time and they haven't learned a lesson that, hey, we're adults now. So you have to talk to me. Now, I ain't saying you got to call me yes, ma'am, but you talk to me a different way. And sometimes those people were never respectful. Not all the time, but a lot of times those people were never respectful because you got messy people and they always been messy and they disrespectful and they take that energy wherever they go. And sometimes don't nobody deal with them. So just the mama sitting up there in that truck, that how they were, period. That was a negative energy, regardless. Like Love Wisdom said, she should have fell back. So I just got the sense that the mama always probably was a little bit extra. But you would, a lot of times people do give passes, and you've been doing this, okay, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. How long are we going to keep this up? We're going to go on. You might be living for 60, another 30 years. Is we're going to always be like that? Because now when I come around you, I have a certain energy because how you doing me, and I don't want to be like that. So you're gonna be invited to less family functions. If it's a Sunday dinner, that man gonna have to be home with his family. You may not get an invite no more because every time you come around, you bringing that drama. You got to put sometimes you got to put the old people in time out till they learn how to act because they were never learned how to act.
That's a different perspective. I have to agree with you there. But let me go ahead and welcome to the panel, Stacey One. What's going on, my lady? Uh-oh, Stacey disappeared. Oh well, Stacey, if you come back, just come back, Stacey. Uh, Screen learning. What's on your mind?
So this is the reason why you definitely have to get paraded around the family before you become family or make a child. This probably started off with the mom making little jokes and stuff about the wife, and the wife, when she was just dating the husband, they probably didn't think anything of it. Oh, she's just old, it's no big deal. Oh, laughing at the jokes. But then the more she came around, she realized that not only is the mom serious about these little jokes and put downs that she's been saying, it is just me taking a step further as far as the mom probably saying, your cooking's okay, but it's never going to be as good as mine. And see, when you first are meeting the family, you hear stuff like that, you laugh it off, not thinking it's a big deal. Or the mom or family member is like, you look good, but you didn't look as good as the last one. And probably laugh it off and no big deal. But as time progresses on, the wife probably learned that those jokes were little slick disses. And if she's saying this little slick stuff in front of me, she probably is telling my husband to leave me every time my husband and I get into a problem or get into some type of argument or something. And that's why it's going back to what I said before. You have to get paraded around, because if if the husband is only bringing you around for holidays only, you're not really getting to know people, you're not knowing their personality, the politics that goes with their family, and now you're in a situation where the husband has the mom in the front seat of your vehicle or the family vehicle. He rolls up, the mama's got her head out the window yelling at you like she raised you, and then the son not saying anything to the mom, he jumps out and now he's trying to check you, and you're thinking, well, I should be in the front seat, I'm your wife. Whereas in this family, they're used to like single parents, or they're used to not people not being married, or even a street marriage, and they don't care about stuff like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you are knowing exactly what you're walking into as far as the relationship. And because when you date somebody, you date their family too, especially if they're not willing to stick up or take up for you and put their family in check.
Okay, yeah. Well, here's my thing, and welcome back, Saysir. Um, I know that when people get old, um, they usually are a little bit more, uh, their demeanor is a little bit more crabby, if that makes any sense. Because like I remember my grandmother. My grandmother was a sweet woman, but then as she got older and older, and the aches and pains and all the ailments of getting old started catching up with her, she was a little bit more crabby in her old age. So there were certain things that we had to be forgiving of, when she was snapping and carrying on because she's in pain or whatever, and just doesn't know how to deal with it. So I mean, I just wonder, if people are just don't have any patience for old people anymore. What do you guys think about that? I'm gonna go over to say Seer one.
Hello, I had to switch devices, you guys. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Okay. Uh, Faith, I agree. As you get older, you kind of become more aware of the issues that older people deal with, especially if you're dealing with older people that are starting to go through dementia and Alzheimer's. They tend to have a 360 in their personalities. So it's one thing to excuse, behavior that might be associated with some type of sickness that they really can't control. But I do think certain levels of disrespect, if we excluding the, getting older, they're in pain, they may have some mental issues that come with getting older, those type of behaviors do need to be checked. But I also grew up in the school of thought that you did, that, you just kind of let your elders, you try to be respectful, which I still agree with. But I don't think there's an issue with, if it's my husband's family, I feel like my husband should be the one to address that. I'm not going to address that with like his mother or his father. But I think a better question is, are we preparing our children and what to expect when they marry? Like, are we a part of their vetting process? Do they come to us and say, hey mom, hey dad, what do you think about such and such? I'm thinking about taking this relationship to the next level. Are we properly preparing them to deal with conflict within the family, is what I'm saying. Because I don't see being disrespectful to my future daughter-in-law, but me and my son, we have these conversations. So it's kind of already a certain code of conduct is already expected from me and from her. What do you guys think?
Okay, going over to BMT.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, when it comes to that, that's why you have the 2 year vetting process, introductory of family, cookouts, dinners. Hey, you know what, guys, we're gonna be doing Thanksgiving or we're gonna be doing like a dinner at Faith's house. Invite the parents, both parents over. I mean, these are things that easily y'all can actually meet each other, and actually start talking. Have a night with the men. You know what? Take the ladies, or ladies could go do something. See, you have to get the parents, you have to start making people start to engage, so that way you can get a feel of the dynamic. Not hide them from each other, but get them to engage, so that way you can see how they are. They might see something that you don't see. I know before I got married, guess what? And I'm not sure people still practice this, but guess what? I had to get up out of the room My father and my mom talked to my wife on her own. I'm not sure people practice that. They sat down with her and talked with her. When it was just me and her parents, I sat down by myself and they just asked, so what are your intentions? What are your goals? What do you plan on doing? You see what I'm saying? These are things that you would want to do. And it's not something that, oh, well, you're being nosy. It's not being nosy. We're learning each other. I've sat down and talked with her uncle. You know what I'm saying? So I can learn her. Hey, you know she likes this, or hey, that's her favorite type of ice cream. She can't eat that, or we start learning each other. I start learning her parent. I mean, I know her mom likes a bag of grapes. Whenever her mom comes by, I go pick up grapes, stuff like that, so that way you can get to learn the in-laws and the outlaws in the tradition. Seventh, I'm a Christian, Presbyterian. She's the Seventh Day Adventist. Guess what? Sometimes I'll say, you know what? Let's try the church on Saturday. So, you know what I'm saying? So that way y'all can get used to customs and stuff. You can catch these things early. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I grew up in a household where, yeah, I would see that the women in our family, they do have somewhat of a dominant voice. And sometimes if you don't say nothing, those voices can overtake your household. And I had to do, and I'm not saying that out of disrespect, but I had to let it be known, hey mom, you gotta fall back. And there could be a father in the midst, but the father won't say anything. He's gonna be like, son, you your own man. If you wanted to say something to your mom, you should have said something. So it's not always just a single parent thing. It's just that some parents have to be let known because they might see something say like, why is he allowing that other person to say that to my child? I'm gonna say something. No, no, no. You got to pull them aside and say, no, we can give them a hint. We can talk with them. Y'all get what I'm saying? But we can't insert ourselves in their issue unless it is something of a threat or it's something that can go harmful. But you have to be a good judge of character and get a feel of the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the mother-in-law will step in and protect her daughter-in-law when she sees her son off code. I've seen that also. It ain't always just a one-sided thing. You got to look at these things and be a best judge of content. You know, um, and it happened. It happens on different family dynamics of how we do this. But you got to sit down with your child, train up a child in the way they should go, so that way they don't depart from the training. So if you're training your child, hey, I'm teaching you how to be a better individual, how to be more respectful. You know what I'm saying? That you're the man of your house. That's what my father told me. When my father disrespected my old lady, guess what? I stopped. Hey, can I get the kids for the summer? No, you cannot. You disrespected my wife. You talked down on her. I'm not overlooking that. You apologize to her. And I'll tell you what, we can probably talk about us coming together, but you're not gonna get my kids alone. No, sir. You
Hey,
that
hey,
privilege.
Faith, can I come in when he's done? When he's done.
Okay. But see, those things are about establishing boundaries. If you're disrespecting the family, you're disrespecting all of us. And that's gonna cause controversy because literally, I promise you, that mate and that those mates are gonna talk about that at night. That is gonna keep coming, like the woman says, this keeps on happening. Women don't forget. Men get pet peeves. And when these things happen, they build up into something bigger where you could end up losing it all rather than just nipping it in the butt. So, well, we
Okay,
go.
I'm gonna move it over to full circle and then make it happen, Manny. After that, and then we're gonna cycle right back over to screen learning. Welcome to the panel, fellas.
Okay, I'm back. Before the call got dropped. Faith, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw this at you. Faith, I know you're a person. I don't know you personally, but I know you're all about Black families. Okay, I know you mentioned not too long ago on a panel that you had a husband that passed away. I'm sorry to hear about your death. I'll let you know that. If anybody hasn't said it on the panel or back then on that chat, I'm letting you know. very sorry to hear about your death. I know you're all about black families and togetherness as far as a collective. So you get mad respect. I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to backtrack to this. Going back to that video, or this video that you showed us, you have the husband that knows the wife and he knows his mother better than anything. Before even driving up, before even coming up or approaching the wife or even getting there in that situation, knowing that I know the wife, my wife, and my mother, I would have had her way in advance from leaving the home, wherever, the store, the market, wherever. She would have been in the back seat. And I'm going to agree with Sister George. I don't know if anybody else agree with that. The wife would have been in the front seat. That would have been done long time ago. It wouldn't have been no situation of making a scene and an outburst and making some big thing break out into an escalation as far as an issue. It would be no issue or problem. You being the man needs to take that role and be in your position. Everyone has a role. The mother has a role. The wife has a role. They should know their positions. But you as a man, you're going to be tested. Never, ever think that you'll never be tested. Even your mother will test you. And she's going to even look at it to the point of, regardless if it was a single mother home or a father in the picture, she's going to test what you was made of, even from how she brought you up. And it'll show. That wife will even see it too. We see what you all about. She'll see if you're a mama boy or if you're a man. And it's sad to even be in a situation, being in a marriage, that she has to look at you like that. That's that part. Another part too, when I got cut off, I want to bring this in, Faith, when it comes to separation. We got to take into account, we don't know the situation, but let's just say, for an example, he might have a daughter or a son. They might have children. So to do the whole separating thing, somehow, some way, that grandmother is going to have a grandchild. It's going to be a kid. To separate them might be looked at as like the solution, but it's not going to be the whole solution, because that grandmother is going to want to see her kid. So for how long are you going to be able to separate the two? You're not going to be able to continue to do that forever. So somewhere in there, they're going to have to get along. But on during the holidays, during a birthday, they see each other. And we have that bad within the black community and families. We always think that separating is the issue. There's many families right now that don't even talk. Prime example, you got Elisa Ray and the brat. She gets engaged to Judy or Jessica, and they don't even talk. We're very, very bad when it comes to separating and going the other direction, because we just don't get along. We have that really bad faith in the chat and the people listening, and we need to work on that as blacks, as black families. It doesn't solve anything. So we need to find a way to come together or get together. Now, if you've done everything possible you can do, then you go and do what you need to do to separate. But we need to start figuring out a way when it comes to families, how we can come together and stop running all the time. And I'm not saying that was discussed in that, but that's just my take on it. We always look at it where, hey, that's the answer. And that's never the answer. And then when it's time to combine forces as a collective, we can't, because we've been so busy separating, using that as the answer. And a divorce in the picture is that if that's a girlfriend, that's a girlfriend. You separate, you break up. That's easy said than done, maybe, unless there's children in the picture. But if you're married to her, there's more to it than just, hey, I'm just going to separate. So I think you kind of get it, the picture, this separating thing. There's got to be another way. Do what you can do, the best that you can do, and then you go to plan B and C, and you go from there. I'm done, Faith.
I wanted to ask the women of the panel, would you feel safe to have your child go over to a family member's house and y'all have bad blood?
Okay, what was that again?
Would the women of the panel feel safe to have their child go over to a family member's house and y'all have bad blood?
No.
Any other?
No.
I mean, it really depends on what it is. Now, I could not get along with my mother-in-law, but I recognize that my children need that relationship.
Okay. Any other ladies? Y'all?
No, I don't trust it, because here's the thing. If, regardless of what we have going on, I know people are manipulators. And if you and I are having bad blood, you can't respect my decisions on certain things. What some in-laws would try to do, they would try to manipulate the children to get information. And it's like, no, if you can't respect my decision on certain things, you're not allowed to see my children, because you could be manipulating my children. And next thing you know, my children is going to turn against me based on something that you said, because you're trying to get back in my good graces, even though you wouldn't respect my decision on certain things. So no. Mm-mm.
Ray.
Well, let me real quickly before anybody else speaks. I want to acknowledge the $5 super chat from Dollar Washer. He says, "You know what I don't like, when a woman or man doesn't like people chastising their kids or them, but think they have the audacity."
How about your faith? You know what I don't like, says Dollar Washer. You know what I don't like? Um, when a woman or a man doesn't like people chastising their kids or them, but think they have the audacity to do so to others. Shout out to Dollar Washer for the $5 super chat. Um, we agree. I agree. We hear people say it all the time. Don't chastise my kids, but and I've seen that in church. You can't say nothing to their kids, but they can say any and everything that they want, and no consequences. I agree with that.
All right, so I want to move it over to Make It Happen, Manny.
Good morning. Good morning to everybody on the panel. Thanks for having me up, Faith.
Morning.
I actually had a question, and I can't be up here very long, so I really want to get this question out. Is it abnormal under the realm of marriage for each individual spouse to state claim to certain things? Going back to the my card thing, I was having a convo in the chat about it, and I didn't really get a good like consensus about it. So, is that abnormal? Or even though we're married, I enjoy this, he enjoys that. I respect he enjoys this, so that's his space or that's his thing, and he respects that I enjoys this, so this is my thing and this is my space. Is that abnormal?
It's not abnormal, but there's certain community property that you can't really do that with. Like, I'll
Mm,
give you an example. I had a girlfriend. She had gotten into an argument with her husband. He left and took her car. His car, was totaled. He didn't have a car. And so
mm-hmm,
she got petty and she actually called the police and reported the car stolen. So
mm,
when the police caught up with him and they got to asking the questions, where whose car is it and all of that, and they found out that
mm,
they were married, the police
mm-hmm,
told her that she cannot, call the police on her husband, because the car is considered, community property within a marriage. So it's no longer just her car anymore if she's married. So the police didn't do anything about it. He rolled off in her car.
right.
So there
So
are
right,
certain
right,
things that you're not going to be able to claim in that way.
right. So legally, right? Because I guess how you're explaining it under the law. So right, legally it's community property legally, but just going back to my question as far as just state claim, it don't have to be legally, but like like my grandparents been married 53 years, right? It's their house. I totally understand that. But the den is like my grandfather's den. When he's in there drinking his coffee, watching his Animal Planet, and the women are cackling, that's his space, and we respect that as his space. We don't go in there bothering him unless he comes out and now he's interacting with everybody else. But again, legally, it's their house, right? That's what you're saying. It's their house. But he stakes claim to that den. You get what I'm saying? Is that abnormal? Like that's my thing. Like, is that abnormal? Even though legally, yes, these are you guys things legally. My grandmother would throw a fit if my grandfather drove her car because she hates the way he moves her settings around. She likes it to smell a certain way. She has her, her certain things that a woman has. So if he was to like drop her car, which in my lifetime I've only seen him do it twice, she's throwing a whole fit like, what the fuck? Oh my god, you got three cars. What the hell you doing in my car? Like, you know what I'm saying? So just going back to the convo I was having in the chat, I'm like, okay, maybe that's abnormal for me to see that in my family. Maybe that's abnormal because if going back to the video, My grandfather would have never put up in my grandmother's truck to pick up anybody. He would have put up in his own vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, does anybody else want to take this?
That's that's fine. Like I said, I got multiple vehicles parked. You know what I'm saying? You know, Miss BMT has her own Jeep that she drives. You
Hmm.
know, and I've woken up some days and I'll be like, "Where's my keys?" You know, and go outside and my truck be gone, and I'm like, she didn't put gas in her car, so she just took my car. And I could be angry and be like, I can't believe she took my car, but deep down inside, I'm like, that's what the vehicles are for. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we all have specific things like my chair, my room, my man cave. But you know what I'm saying? As in a relationship, we give that space to those people. You know what I'm saying? Where they can de-stress or they do stuff a certain way. Her car smells way nicer than mine. You know what I'm saying? But however, I predominantly call it, but that's her thing she predominantly uses for the most part. But saying that what Faith looks at when it comes to the legal standpoint of the 50-50 communal property, that's their property. That's their property. That if something would have happened, what I'm saying, she has access to it also. And I know a lot. See, that's the thing about it for a lot of people don't like to hear. Wait, somebody else has access to it just like me? Yes, they do. You're just a predominant user of it, but everyone that y'all two both have access to that. And then I mean that's when you start having issues further on down in the marriage, when you start being that petty. We said you can't drive my car, you can't do that. And what happened one day? I wake up and she said, "Well, you can't touch my box, my property." Uh-oh, I thought it was communal property. Nope, it's my box, my choice. Well, dang, Trump. I just been Trump card. So you got to be careful how we play these claim games because then they ultimately start getting really sticky and finicky. If that makes any sense. I mean, we do it, but it gets childish at a certain point. You know.
Right. I was just asking because everybody on this panel, some are married, some have been married. I know all of you guys are older than me, so I was just asking you guys' opinion just to get some knowledge of it because I'm still getting a lot of knowledge about a lot of things about marriage and therefore and so on. So I was just asking you guys' opinion
Not a
Well,
and
make
not a
it
from
problem.
make
what
it
from what
happen,
I've
Manny.
seen.
I do want to say this, and this is to you and to the people down in the chat, because people were saying they couldn't believe that the police in the scenario that I gave knew about marital property. The police have to make calls like that all the time, just
Yep.
like if they have to go to a house on a domestic violence call, okay, or any type of call having to do with domestic situation. Okay, they have to assess who lives in the house, who's married, what the living arrangements are of all the people in the house, who's related to who. All of that comes into play when they're making decisions. So absolutely, if your husband is driving your car and you have informed them that that is your husband, they're going to tell you that he did not steal the car.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure enough, sure enough. Well, he'll get right back in the car and crank right up because I have had that happen where a lady, Faith, she no, yeah, a lady. She said, I want him out of this house. How? Y'all both signed the lease. Well, I want him out. Y'all both signed the lease. He has right to it. Y'all listen. You go sleep in one bedroom down the hallway. He go sleeps in the other. I'm not kicking him out. This is both of y'all property. Stop. Ain't nothing she could say. But it was both their properties. So what I'm saying, y'all gotta understand that this is what I'm saying. I'm not sure if some people understand the rules of engagement of a committed relationship. It's both of y'all. So saying that, what I'm saying, my mom, your mom, and I literally Melissa has told me that. No, that's not just my mother. That's our mother. That's your mother-in-law. So that's your mother. You need resources from her. Call her up. And I'd be like, call your mom. No, you call her. That's your mom too. Sorry. She's now property of the family now. And we've done that. Take the grandkids. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand it's a joint effort. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all do
Exactly.
that.
Faith,
Well,
Faith,
I need to.
I have
Mhm.
one more comment and then I have to jump off.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead.
so I agree. I agree with 100% of what I've learned today. But I just have one more comment slash question. Going back to my main question as far as respectively stake and claim. Now I get the whole legal part, but I mean, in my experience, I've seen where if you share everything, even though, of course, you do legally, again, I'm not saying I don't understand that part of it, but when you share everything and this is mine and his and hers and mine, every single thing that we do is ours together, it can kind of start getting a little toxic. I feel like in certain marriages, people need their space. People need their, this is my space, this is yours, even though we have great communication, we have a great marriage, you know, I need that to be how I like it. Or he could say, I need that to be how I like it. Not everything else you got full reign, and I have no problem with you doing that as my wife. I'm not speaking on the legally part of it. We get that, you know. I'm just saying, like, as far as respectfully staking claim to certain things, maybe you have a pet peeve. Like maybe my granddad don't want my grandma in his den for a certain reason. Not saying she doesn't have legal ties to it, she does, but she respects that's his space. You get what I'm saying? That's the part that I see we're not really getting into. I get the whole legal part of it. I was just saying, was it abnormal for we could keep it on my grandparents for my grandma to say that's my car and I like it how it is, even though my grandfather does have legal claim to it. He still respects that that's her car. That's how my wife likes it, and I respect that about her. I have my own things. Is that abnormal? That's my question. I'm gonna drop off back
Okay.
into the chat. But thanks for having me up, and good morning to everybody.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up, Big and having Manny. I'm going to kick
You
that
know it, babe.
question over to screen learning. Would you like to go ahead and fill that for us?
Yeah, one of the most common spaces as far as like individual ownership is the cell phone. Like sometimes there may be like a man cave, or sometimes it might be this is my food or this is your food, but pretty much everything is shared except for the main things like cell phone, social media account, individual bank account, email, and password. So our grandparents, and sometimes, and to a certain extent, our parents didn't have the same ownership dynamics that we do now. So in a way, we're kind of an undiscovered country when it comes to this is my thing. Even though we're married, this is mine and it's not yours. And communal property doesn't cover that intellectual property, and including cell phones and everything that goes into that. So I think that that's definitely something that you kind of sort out when you're dating, and then when you become married, eventually it's going to come up. Like if someone says, "Well, who was that called you, or who was that texted you?" At that point, you're going to set the boundary if you're going to establish boundaries when you answer that question. So people really need to discuss this type of stuff while they're dating or when they initially get married, so that people understand that, even though I came into this marriage with this vehicle, it's in my name only, I paid a note on it. If we agree that this is community property, then we need to have a vote on it, because it shouldn't be a situation where I come into a marriage with a vehicle, it's in my name only, I'm paying a note on it, you're driving it, but now you're going to dictate to me what your mother is and is not going to do in it as far as being in the front seat. I understand, and that just kind of goes into communication and just talking it out, because that right there kind of goes into finances, and that's one of the top reasons for a divorce are finances, because people uh, don't really communicate, and someone has I'm going to say pre-notion of what they believe is something that's going on, but they've never talked about it. And then once they get into it, now all of a sudden it just blows up because there was no communication.
All right. Well said. All right, so now it's coming up on the 2 hour mark, and this is something that I'm doing brand new with my morning rides. But I do the 1 hour monologue with myself and the BBN team, and then I have people on the panel for 1 hour. So since it has come up to that time, we're going to start wrapping it up. So I want to start ending it with everyone's final thoughts on this conversation, and I'm going to start off with Full Circle. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, I just wanted to add this in. The brother that just spoke, was it, what's his name, Faith? Speaks?
CK.
Screen,
Is it CK? Okay.
yeah.
CK, yeah, I just wanted to come back off of what he said on my final thoughts. We mentioned respect earlier. I'm going to add on to that as far as the respect. It comes down to also trust. It's one thing to have separation, but as far as, having your own space, as far as getting into each other's stuff, like you mentioned, uh, Speaks brought up cell phones. It shouldn't even get to that point. It comes down to trust. Even the vehicle situation, it's a trust right before the marriage. And perhaps, Faith, you could have this in the future when it comes down to the basics of marriage before even walking down the aisles. A lot have, I myself, I've never been married before. I've been engaged, but I've never been married. But many of us have lost sight of what the basics are when it comes to marriage. One thing is trust. You have to be able to trust that other person. And it comes back to how we were raised. That woman in the video, how she was raised, one parent home, two parent home. The husband, one parent home, two parent home. You got to have that trust, respect, and communication. There should be no need, even when you separate and go to other ends of the homes, as BMT said, or have your space running the man cave. You got to have that trust. It shouldn't be no having to go through that phone. Oh, I own the car. You have the car. Where did you go in that car? I got to mark down the mileage. Any of those examples. If you don't have that trust, along with communication and respect, what's the point, Faith? You get what I'm saying? You got to have that. No looking through this and looking through that, second guessing, having doubts. That's a part of like causing a cancer in the marriage. You can also see that it's going to probably go not in an upward spiral, but in a downward spiral. So please, let's not forget to have that trust. You got to have that. Thank you, Faith.
All right. Thank you so much for coming up here, and do come again. I do appreciate your thoughts and your wisdoms on these subjects matter. So there are a lot of
Thank
things
you.
that you said I do agree with. By the way, with the exception of some things, but 90% of what you said I do agree with.
I can live with that. Thank you. Thank you, Faith. I'm down with you. You know that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm gonna move it over to Love Wisdom. What's up, BBN member?
What's up? What's up? Of course, thank you for having me on. I think this comes down to an issue of boundaries. Um, we've lost that gift to respect boundaries. And what took place with that mother is she didn't respect the boundaries of her son nor his wife. Once your son has a family of his own, you take a back seat. You are not, you're not his right hand anymore. That's his wife's responsibility. Mothers need to understand that that's your son, that's not your man. And you need to go to the back seat unless you have a health issue to where it's okay. She has to be in the front because she has a health issue and she has to be able to get in and out of the vehicle. But if you are a full bodied, healthy woman and you just got a lot of mouth, get in the back, or I'm cutting communication with you until you get right because I have a family now and she is going to come before you unless there is an emergency. So we have to learn how to respect each other's boundaries. We have to learn how to respect leadership and just have a basic general respect of each other where we are in certain situations when it comes to family and marriage. So as always, Faith, thank you so much for having me on.
Mhm. Anybody else? I think Faith, I'm not sure she's driving in the mountains like she does. Is there anybody else has anything want to say?
I guess I'll give my final thoughts. So
Okay.
once once the mom raised the son to be an adult, her job was done. And it seems like she's trying to continue to raise him. And that's where the problem starts and really needs to end, because she needs to let him go. The son chose the wife, not the mom. And in my opinion, our only obligation is to our children and significant other. So the mom has got to, she got to go. We come in this world alone, and we are used to being alone until we share our world with another. And who we share our world with and who we create is who we should give or have as priority over others, including parents. There are many ways to respect the elders, but that respect should not negate boundaries and the boundaries of our family. So that's pretty much my final thoughts. I'll drop down
No,
to the chat.
that was very beautiful.
I
That's,
appreciate it.
that
Hua,
was
hua.
Thank you, Screen Learner. And I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Did BMT go yet?
No, I haven't gone yet. I'll just make sure everything was smooth. Um, First off, you guys, thank you for supporting Faith in the Morning show. It was an amazing show. And actually, we did it. No, we did it very good. No cursing, no fighting, nobody being belligerent, which proves that we can do this. We can have balance. And even when we made an incorrect error, and we looked at what the crowd was saying, read it, and went back and said, let's look at the video again. And y'all notice real time, we apologized, not fought it, but said, you know what? Let's relook at this again. Because there has to be a balance to all of this. And the scenario could have still played out the same had there been a father, brother, whoever. The scenario was still played out, could have still been played any old way. So it's not just gender exclusive towards mama boy, daddy's girl. It could go any type of way. But respect still has to be made. Uh, and literally, I want you to understand, for somebody who's been there and done that, sometimes you will have to make them boundaries of ultimatums. That, hey, I love y'all. I really do. But I also love my family. And I will, if I have to choose, my family, my children, and my woman or my husband will have to come first. And that sucks. A lot of people are like, I'm not doing that. Then why did you get married? Because that person or them people are putting their lives in your hands. When you cook for them, feed them, when you breastfed them, like I want you understood. That's one of the first things, Mimi told me. She said, listen, Joe, I bared your child. So I'm looking for you to take care of us. That's what she told me. So I had to understand the contract. This woman wasn't looking towards her mama, not her uncle, not her daddy, but to me. So for fellas, you understand that woman is not looking to your mama to be the head of that house. She's looking to you. And sometimes you will have to swallow that bullet. Ladies, you lay with that man, you say that's your man. Daddy is not your man. Your man is the man that's right there, punching the clock, busting his behind for you if he is a good man to make sure that he provided food, comfort, and shelter for you. So we got to establish those types of distinctions and sacrifice. And I understand why she was hurt, but she's like, yo, I took this video. She probably got that vehicle on her credit. And she's like, yo, I'm sacrificing, doing everything, stepping up to the plate, and you still putting your mom before me. So that's an insult to her injury as a woman. And some women feel like, yo, don't I mean anything? So I can understand the hurt, because that was something that my woman had to tell me when I did that to her. And I said, I put my mom on ahead of her, and she was like, yo, we're gonna have to make this right now. I don't want your mom coming around me and my children. Y'all might need to go stay together. And I said, no, I love you. I love you. Hey, if you love me, then her boy should never have input. But the same thing had to go vice versa. Yo, your parents can't have, and that's something that a lot of newlywed couples have to go through, or couples and people have to go through. We have to start establishing boundaries. We can be respectful, grandma, granddaddy. You can be respectful, but you gotta give that newlywed couple time to feel each other out, and also sometimes you gotta let them bust their behind, guide them, but know how far you can take it in their spectrum of what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you gotta understand. Daddy's girls, don't be calling daddy to check your man. No, no, no. That's gonna cause a lot of problems. Sons, husbands, don't be calling your mama or auntie or sister to check your woman. That's not code. That's your woman. Ladies, that's your man. Don't be calling no outsourced play. But if that's the case, you're gonna really have a whole bag of worms, because now they're gonna be like, "What? You trying to bully me? You trying to use her to threaten me and my kids?" And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sending my kids to nobody. If I don't feel safe there or comfortable there, my kids will not be going there. But I dealt with that when I was a child, that people will say things about my father or my mother to me, the child, in front of me. "Oh, your father, he's a demon. He got problems. Your mama, huh, I don't know why he chose her." Why would you say that to a child? And a lot of kids hear that and they start looking at their parents differently and say, "Well, grandma told me that you do this." See, that's some boundaries being crossed. So you got to check these things at the door. I had that. I've had the conversation. Yo, don't be talking about my wife to my daughter or my son like that. You do that again, yo, don't call me. Don't text me. Don't know me. I'm gonna treat you like a stranger. Shout out to Dana for the $5 sticker. But yeah, y'all, let's start showing the family boundaries, man. We can we we can learn to live together and respect each other. And if we can't, I love you, but I'm gonna have to love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? All right, Faith, you got it.
All right. Thank you, BMT, for those 50 words of wisdom. And also, I was trying to find the other super chat because I believe that was, oh goodness, I can't find it now. I was clicking on Dana's and totally got away from it. I think, who was that? No, it wasn't Dollar Washer. I got Dollar Washer from earlier. I got Dana's. Okay, it was Delicate Jewel. She said, "Faith, salute 100 to you and your channel is growth. This is a needed channel for our community." Thank you, Delicate Jewel. I appreciate the super chat, and also thank you so much for the compliment to this channel. I do try my best to bring forth family friendly material. Like I said, I'm trying to change the way we're doing things here. I'm shortening up the time that I'm broadcasting these morning drives, and we're also going with the no cursing policy on this channel, so make it PG-13, because I do talk a lot about family on here, and I don't want anyone not to be able to listen to my live streams and be afraid to have their child sitting next to them because there's so much cursing and buffoonery going on. So we're cutting back on that. Also, there's some new rules going on. I had to snatch some wrenches. Okay, so there's going to be some of you that look up and find that you don't have wrenches. Okay, it's not because you've done anything super bad or super terrible, but there are some channel rules that I have to enforce, and I had not been enforcing before. So, rule number one: if you've been on my panel and I have to tell you numerous times, and I'm talking about to the point that is excessive, that you're over talking people, that you're cursing too much, and that you're gender warring and trying to derail the subject of what we're talking about. And I have to do this numerous times. That's probably the reason why you're looking up and you don't have a wrench. That's probably why you're looking up and you can't get back on the panel. Talking out of turn, not waiting your turn to talk, all of that is going to change on this channel. Okay, we gotta practice etiquette. Etiquette is important. So it's not that I have anything personally against you. It's just a channel policy, and I've got to start enforcing it. So in the future, those of you that I took the wrenches from, you may get them back. In the future, you may even get on the panel. But just know that these are the channel rules. But until everybody understands the channel rules, I'm only letting people up here that I know how to share the conversation, wait their turn to speak. They're not cursing like sailors, et cetera, trying to gender war and all that. I'm not going to tolerate it here anymore.
Right. That's also being done on my channel also, uh, on BMT's channel. I want y'all to understand, a lot of us, we've sat and we've had a content creator meeting. We called and had a lot. It took us a lot of time. I mean, at least about 3 to 4 days, where we went through our content and a lot of our stuff as content creators, and we were seeing a lot of things between gender warring, beefs, people going from channel to channel, starting stuff. And we started actually comparing all of our stuff. That took a while, and it took some conviction. We love a lot of y'all, but we want balance. We want change. And just like y'all saw in this video, um, we have to make a choice, and we're trying to make a balanced network family. So I had to pull some wrenches also. I had to let some people go, and I also had to say, "Hey, I love you, but you're not healthy for the relationship that we're trying to build." So I stand by faith. I've done the same thing on my channel. So some of y'all come through my channel, y'all don't see some wrenches. I did it out of love. Maybe down the future line when we sit and we start seeing some difference in attitudes. True. I love y'all. I love y'all brothers, but I'm not gonna sit and let y'all bash and banner the females. Same thing to the females. You're not gonna come to my channel and start spewing venom on men. We're just not gonna do it. And a lot of the BBN network, we sat down and we thought about this hard. We're drawing our line in the sand. Faith is not the only one that's doing it. I've already done it. I've already cut off a lot of brethren from the manosphere in different other sectors, the pro blacks and stuff. I'm not hitting on any. I'm not bashing on anybody. But I want, and Faith wants, where people come to our channels, Screen Learning, either Rel, Love Wisdom, Ray Ray. We want it where people come to our channel and they feel safe to talk. We have a balance. Y'all liked it. I know y'all enjoyed the show. We weren't cursing. Nobody was downing anybody. We were respectful. That's how we can be. It's going to take work to get out the toxic environment, but we can get there. And I believe that's what you, as the viewers, deserve. So, Faith, you're not
Absolutely.
alone in it. You're not alone in it.
Thank you, BMT. Absolutely. And also shout out to the underrated darkness for the $2 super sticker. And also to Taylor Scott for the $4.99 super chat. She says, great show, Faith. Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate it. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring you great shows. And we don't have to have drama in order to bring you quality and entertainment. And you definitely get with the BBN network. We just got the BBN channel up, so a lot of videos are going to start going over there. We're planning a lot of great things for you guys. We're planning to do 10-minute skits before videos, so you're going to see some acting. You may even see Faith get into the acting game. Who knows? We're going to be making fun of MG Towel system, the divestment community, by different things that go on online. We're going to be, doing a lot of caricatures and, just friendly fun. We're not putting anybody down, but it's friendly fun that's not toxic. So you're going to get your entertainment in that way. And you're also going to get a lot of information with the politics, and we're going to start a sports segment. So the BBN channel is going to be a place where you're going to get a lot of different things. You're going to get these talks about family. You're going to get talks about relationships. You're going to get sports. You're going to get all types of stuff, politics, you name it, is going over there on that channel. So we're going to officially launch the channel probably. What are you looking at, BMT? What do you think we're going to get the channel up as far as videos and things?
Well, Faith, looking at how the admins are working, I tell you, we're hardly any of us are really catching sleep. We got the schedules, we got the stuff. Um, I probably, to be safe, with what's today is Wednesday. I would
Yeah.
say, I would say honestly, I would want us to be on the safe side, so that way we can compile some videos before, so we can start putting them on the channel. Um, I would want to be safe to say let's start it up on a Monday. We can actually start it up on a Monday. That's to be safe, but I want to make sure we got everything together and all the stuff. Like we've been scouring. I think the only thing now we have to start doing, and this is for anybody who's out there, that we're now looking for guest content creators to also start to speak to, that actually are looking for balance. That way we can find out how can we also talk with y'all. The BBN core members, we also are looking for guest content creators also. That's the only thing I think we have left, that we need to sit down with. But other than that, for the most part, if you are a guest content creator, we do have your email. If you are interested, please email me, Faith, Screen Learning, D Darrell, Love Wisdom, Ray, the awareness, and literally just put into your title, I am interested in collaborating with BBN. Once you say that, we will respond in a timely manner and literally go from there. Uh, the six of us have literally, we sit down throughout the whole day while we're working and also work on our projects. So we
Absolutely.
definitely, you don't even have to be a content creator. You just have to be somebody balanced, that if you have something to offer to bring, we're willing to sit down with you and talk and actually build upon that. We're making family friendly content to show us in a positive light as a people.
Right.
So,
And we're still going to be keep our same personalities and attitudes, but we're just going to shade back the cursing. So you're still going to see that sauciness from me. I'm gonna be a little mean and evil sometimes, but I'm just going to do that minus the cursing.
and I,
BMT is still going to be on his skullduggery.
yep.
So it's same people, same personalities, but we're just making it more family friendly. And as BMT said, if you're talented, if you're the type of person that knows how to share, if you're the type of person that can keep it clean as far as the cursing, definitely we want to collaborate with you. We've already been reaching out to different content creators to collaborate with BBN, but this is going to be a network that nobody else on Facebook is doing. Okay, we're going to turn that channel into something like what you see on your regular TV. You can get your news, you can get your sports, you can get your a daily dose of drama. So, we're here, for you guys. We're here to, try to bring you the quality content because you guys so richly deserve that. And in return, all we ask is that you lend us your support. Don't forget. And before I forget, shout out to Mama Max. Last week, Mama Max sent me a $20 super chat, and I was not even online. I was not even expecting it. So, those of you that super chat, even when I'm not online, I just want to let you know that you are appreciated and you are definitely going to be recognized on my channel. So, shout out to Mama Max for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate you. And hey guys, just remember that anything that you donate to this channel only makes BBN better and stronger. So if you believe in quality Black content on YouTube, donate to our channels. We have D Darrell, Screen Learning, Love Wisdom, Ray, BMT, and myself. And these are the three channels within, I'm sorry, the six channels within BBN. And we're going to start dropping those links to the main channel once the main channel is up and has videos on it. Right now, we haven't uploaded any videos there, so we're not going to drop the link yet until it is completely finished. We're in the process of working on it.
Ignore the channel. Ignore it. I dropped it already.
Oh, he dropped it already. But I mean, okay, if you guys just want to go there and just subscribe to the channel, just to be subscribed to it, we're still working on it. So if you don't
Right.
see any videos on it right now, it is because we're still working on it. We're probably not going to get it fully functioning up and running until like maybe next week or so. What do you think?
Yeah,
I say next week or so.
Right, next week. Right now, only thing you're seeing is a retail vacant building. That's all you're seeing right now. That's all you're seeing right now. We're still doing the admin work. We're still setting up the equipment on different sides. We're still doing the editing. Like I said, we're putting a lot of time, effort, and money into this, you guys. And this is our baby. Like I said, this is our baby that we're working hard on to try something very different. So the pressure is definitely on. Trust and believe. I don't think we didn't go to bed until I didn't go to bed until like 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of us were still
Yeah.
awake, still working. So we're working our behind off. Are you BNP? Are you writing? Faith, are you doing this? Screen, are you doing that? Dita, are you doing this? Like we're like, stop calling us. Look, love wisdom, don't call me. Like we're getting on each other's nerves, but we are working hard to get this right. We're working hard. We're going to keep working hard. So you guys, like I said, we're doing this for y'all. We y'all deserve this. So we'll see y'all. Thank you, Dane. Like I said, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. Definitely, we haven't done the big debut, but we are working for you guys. We are definitely working for you guys now.
All right. So if you guys want to go ahead, go over and subscribe to the channel. We'll do the big debut over there and probably simulcast it on all of our channels. It's going to be a gala event. So I hope to see you all there. And once again, I want to thank all of the people that get up here early in the morning to watch Faith's morning show. You guys are the real MVPs. And with that, we're out.
Bye.